The great egret, also known as the common egret, large egret, a great white heron, is a large, widely distributed egret, with 4 subspecies found in Asia, Africa, America, and Europe, distributed across most of the tropical and warmer temperate regions of the world. In southern Europe it is rather localized but more widely distributed in North America. It builds tree nests in colonies close to water. Systematics and taxonomy. Like all egrets, it is a member of the heron family, Ardiidae, traditionally classified with the storks in the Cyconiaphormes. The Ardiidae are closer relatives of pelicans and belong in the Pelecaniformes instead. The great egret, unlike the typical egrets, does not belong to the genus Egretta but together with the great herons is today placed in Ardea. In the past, however, it was sometimes placed in Egretta as separated in a monotypic genus Chasmarodeus. The Old World population is often referred to as the great white egret. This species is sometimes confused with the great white heron of the Caribbean, which is a white morph of the closely related great blue heron. The scientific name comes from Latin ardea, heron, and alba, white. Subspecies. There are 4 subspecies in various parts of the world, which differ but little. Differences are bare part coloration in the breeding season and size. The largest modest are from Asia and Australasia. Some taxonomists consider a full species, the eastern great egret. Alba Linnaeus, 1758. Nominate, found in Europe. Egretta G. Mellon, J.F., 1789. Found in Americas. Melano Rinchos Wagler, 1827. Found in Africa. Modesta Gracia, 1831. Eastern great egret, found in India, Southeast Asia, and Oceania. Description: the great egret is a large heron with all-white plumage, standing up to 1 meter tall. This species can measure 80 to 104 centimeters in length and have a wingspan of 131 to 170 centimeters. Body mass can range from 700 to 1,500 grams, with an average of around 1,000 grams. It is thus only slightly smaller than the great blue-gray heron. Apart from size, the great egret can be distinguished from other white egrets by its yellow bill and black legs and feet, though the bill may become darker and the lower legs lighter in the breeding season. In breeding plumage, delicate ornamental feathers are borne on the back. Males and females are identical in appearance. Juveniles look like non-breeding adults, differentiated from the intermediate egret by the gape, which extends well beyond the back of the eye in case of the great egret, but ends just behind the eye in case of the intermediate egret. It has a slow flight with its neck retracted. This is characteristic of herons and bitterns, and distinguishes them from storks, cranes, ibises, and spoonbills, which extend the necks in flight. The great egret walks with its neck extended and wings held close. The great egret is not normally a vocal bird. It gives a low hoarse croak when disturbed, and at breeding colonies, it often gives a loud croaking cuk and high-pitched squawks. Distribution and conservation. The great egret is generally a very successful species with a large and expanding range, occurring worldwide in temperate and tropical habitats. It is ubiquitous across the Sun Belt of the United States and in the neotropics. In North America, large numbers of great egrets were killed around the end of the 19th century so that the plumes could be used to decorate hats. Numbers have since recovered as a result of conservation measures. Its range has expanded as far north as southern Canada. However, in some parts of the southern United States, its numbers have declined due to habitat loss. particularly wetland degradation through drainage, grazing, clearing, burning, increased salinity, groundwater extraction and invasion by exotic plants. Nevertheless, the species adapts well to human habitation and can be readily seen near wetlands and bodies of water in urban and suburban areas. The great egret is partially migratory, with northern hemisphere birds moving south from areas with colder winters. It is one of the species to which the Agreement on the Conservation of African Eurasian Migratory Waterbirds applies. In 1953, the great egret in flight was chosen as the symbol of the National Audubon Society, which was formed in part to prevent the killing of birds for the feathers. On the 22nd of May 2012, it was announced a pair of great egrets were nesting in the UK for the first time at the Charlesjsharp Nature Reserve in Somerset. The species is a rare visitor to the UK, and Ben Avis of the BBC stated that the news could mean the UK's first great egret colony is established. The following week, Kevin Anderson of Natural England confirmed a great egret chick had hatched, making it a new breeding bird record for the UK. Ecology. The species breeds in colonies in trees close to large lakes with reed beds or other extensive wetlands, preferably at height of 10 to 40 feet. It begins to breed at 2 to 3 years of age by forming monogamous pairs each season. It is unknown if the pairing carries over to the next season. The male selects the nest area, starts a nest and then attracts a female. The nest, made of sticks and lined with plant material, could be up to 3 feet across. Up to 6 bluish-green eggs are laid at one time. Both sexes incubate the eggs and the incubation period is 23 to 26 days. The young are fed by regurgitation by both parents and they are able to fly within 6 to 7 weeks. Diet. The great egret feeds in shallow water drier habitats, feeding mainly on fish, frogs, small mammals, and occasionally small reptiles and insects, spearing them with its long, sharp bill most of the time by standing still and allowing the prey to come within its striking distance of its bill, which it uses as a spear. It will often wade motionless for prey, or slowly stalk its victim. Parasites. A long-running field study suggested that the Central European great egrets host 17 different helminth species. Juvenile great egrets were shown to host fewer species, but the intensity of infection was higher in the juveniles than in the adult egrets. Of the digenons found in Central European great egrets, numerous species likely infected the definitive hosts outside of Central Europe itself. In culture, the great egret is depicted on the reverse side of a 5 Brazilian reais banknote. White Egrets is the title of St. Lucian poet Derek Walcott's 14th collection of poems. The great egret is the symbol of the National Audubon Society. The great egret gives one of its synonyms, the white heron, to a pair of support aircraft which assist Kiryu and Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. The name of Venerable Shariputra, one of the Buddha's best-known followers, signifies the son of the egret. It is said that his mother had eyes like a great egret. In Belarus, there is a commemorative coin with the image of a great egret. The great egret also features on the New Zealand $2 coin. Gallery.